Today I'd like to talk to you about vulnerability. For some reason, it just seems like when I'm getting more comfortable with vulnerability, I've been told in the past that it's something that I wasn't very good at. And we're talking about 15, 20 years ago. I started to get good at it. It just seems like the more I'm comfortable with it, the more lately I find people are not so comfortable with it. And I'm not getting it because, to me, I completely feel that it's a necessity, especially when you're trying to self-improve or when you're trying to help somebody out. I've got some wonderful people in my family, my team, my peoples, right? My friends and acquaintances. And the ones that are closest to me are just, they're so about it. And I love it. I love that I've got this like little small circle that I can count on. But if you're really looking to self-improve, it is not an easy process. It's, as I've mentioned before, it's not linear, right? 2 steps forward, one step back. You're, bouncing around left and right, back, forward, all the stuff. But as long as you're going in that progression, right, in that line of forwardness, then yeah, it should be a good thing. And I throw a lot of people off with it. And I'm proud because now I see it as a superpower, because I used to be like, wow, is this a bad thing? Am I just this weirdo? Am I, is there something wrong with me? No, it's just that I'm different. And that's okay. And I need to find my tribe. When I say find my tribe, I've got a tribe, but find more of my tribe. The ones that are success in how they do things with their lives, moving forward with, their self-improvement. Or if not, if they're already there, then, what can I do in order to, bring in those attributes, to absorb them essentially, and just mimic and copy. And I guess that whole fake it till I make it. So that way I could be right where they're at. But, it is a matter of being vulnerable, like I am here with you right now, and saying, I am a vulnerable person and I'm comfortable with it. I've got nothing to hide. Even if it damns me, I'm going to be like, well, that in fact is true about me, about the situation, or whatever it may be. And the benefit is that through conversation with good people, intellectual people, people that will benefit you in ways of, helping you release and then receive. Receiving is the big thing. Are you really receiving? But vulnerability is a two-way street, right? So, I sit here and I ponder and I'm like, I just wish it didn't throw people off. Because when it does work, even when I find people that are having a difficult time with it, and when they finally get to be vulnerable, they see the benefit and the value in it. And it's such an important thing. Don't you want somebody in your life that's vulnerable? That's going to say, hey, listen, anyone can be like, I'm pissed or whatever, blah, 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 F you and this MF and blah, blah. But I am talking about really, truly vulnerable. Like, hey, don't you want somebody that's like, dude, I want to tell you something, and I'm trying to find the right words, and it's about myself. I'm having difficulty with this, that, and the third. I'm feeling perplexed because of this matter, and I'm adjusting or dealing and coping with it this particular way. And I think it's because of my history or something that's gone on here very recently, or a fear that isn't, I guess something in front of me, anxiety, so to speak. I like those kinds of people because there's so much that you can get out of it. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't want to be the kind that complain all the time and just, oh my God, and rah, rah, rah. Like, vulnerability is about sincerity. We all can complain and be like, hey, this job and this kid and this pet and this health situation and da-da-da-da. But vulnerability is like, hey, listen, I know I got these problems. But I want to go back and forth with you because I want to figure this thing out and correct it. Please don't deny yourself the power of vulnerability. I have lived a very, God, I can't even think of the words, just a very complicated life. Back when, it wasn't so pretty. It was pretty damn ugly is what it was. And it was all over the place and erratic. But after years of vulnerability, even being vulnerable, mainly being vulnerable with myself, having that inner dialogue, it's nice to converse with myself that way and say, all right, Jay, blah, blah, blah. After years of doing that with myself and others, it's gotten me places. Am I this, super rich dude with a nice house, business, married to, phenomenal woman and all of my kids, we were together and, never disbanded. And it was a beautiful little house on a prairie thing. Yes, that just showed my age. I can't even really think of anything too current because I don't watch TV like that. That would essentially relate, but you get what I'm saying. There wasn't always a perfect picture, but damn, it gets better and better with that vulnerability and utilizing it as a tool to self-improve. It's made my relationships better. The bond is insane. And that's with those that are willing to be vulnerable. Wow. I should have been putting Do Not Disturb on. Click, bing. Here's a vulnerable statement. Sometimes my ADHD kicks in and I get so forgetful. I don't take care of things I know I should be doing, like turning on Do Not Disturb in order to do a recording, but that's my ADHD. Vulnerable time. I think vulnerability goes along with heart. It's nice to see people out there that have heart. I've recently spoken with someone that has become very vulnerable. And they were vulnerable with me. And they allowed me to speak and share some insight. I am not a life coach. But through my experiences, I can certainly share the don'ts and tell you these do's, as what I'm seeing out there now, they may not be tailored exactly for you as it would be for me. But it's worth going out and taking a look at those resources. Let me share share those with you. So vulnerability is very, very powerful. Having the heart to be able to converse with vulnerability, there's a lot of value. And I find that I've been respected for it. People who really don't care for vulnerability tend to shoo me away, and that's okay. As I mentioned, I'm looking for my own tribe. Some of us enjoy that. We prefer it. We don't want to run from our feelings. We don't want to run from any potential that's going to help us improve as human beings so we have a better quality of life. Some people are like, oh, God, here we go again. And that's fine. Because usually those are the ones that I'm finding are having a harder time trying to self-improve. And that's your timing, whoever you may be. If that is you, I'm not knocking you. It took me to speak with someone that finally said, you need to work on this. It's going to help you. It's timing. Maybe it's not your time. But I'm glad I had that conversation, and now it's my time. And now my time to share. I want to be vulnerable with you every step of the way. I think it's very important to connect as a people. That's what makes community and society. And that's my own personal belief. But there you go. That's my spiel for the day. Thank you for tuning in to Tap Into the Gray here with Jace. I am very happy I'm doing this. And here's a vulnerable one, a tidbit there for you before I leave. I always wanted to do this. I've never had the strength and the confidence. And I'm hoping that this train to live right by one, not in the city. I'm actually, dang, I am actually near the this park, and the train line runs right by it. Not that it matters, but anyway, getting back on topic. I'm glad I'm taking the opportunity to do this. I'm hoping that it is going to be helpful to someone out there. I've seen that some conversations that I've had have proven to have been helpful to a couple of people that are out there. Not very many, because not everyone gives me the opportunity to speak. And if I do speak to them, they're not listening for very long. I'm not trying to tell them how to live their lives. I'm just saying, through my progress, this is what I've learned that has helped me. And my vulnerability is that I care. Even if I don't know you, I give a damn about you. I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to be humble, loving, and I want everyone to be sincere. But it's not always out there. But are you going to change my shade? I'm going to keep being me, and this is what I'm here to do. And thank you for tuning in. One love, baby. Bless, and I hope you succeed in all of your endeavors.